Okay, let's go to the Foundation Infrastructure Working Group meeting. So we have our usual agenda. We'll check on the PRs, issues. On the pending merge, there is one which I opened about moving the availability zone of the compute instances we have for our concourse, the worker and the web nodes. Because the SQL instance, GCP Cloud SQL instance is in a different zone in Europe West 4, and the compute instances are in Europe West 2, and this generate network traffic around $700 per month. That's why it will be nice to move them to the same availability zone. It looks like so the SQL instance is not managed by the Terraform scripts we have in the repository, but the network is managed, and yeah, we have to check what is the impact on the network on the VPC when we switch the region and the availability zone. Yeah. This is about cost savings, so it still needs to be checked. Here's one about fixing the text extraction.
Exactly. So this was about the feature we delivered, which is about tagging stem cells. Yeah, so we did deliver the feature on the CPI, but it looks like it was tested on the CPI, but not with an integration with the director. So we tried to integrate it now with the director, so really use it productively. And we saw one bug, which is basically here in line 161. You see that we checked this hashtags, but actually there is one level more, which is called content. That was not 159, for example. That was not regarded, so we just fixed this here. And the one other thing, if you scroll to the top, to the very top, I think here is just tests. Yeah, and what we changed here is that we make the max supported API version that was set to 2. That means if you try to override this, even in the manifest, it will still force you to stay at 2, which is not what we want. Now we are on API version 3. And with that, we now make it also 3. So with that, the director is using version 3, API version 3 by default, unless you specify in the config that you want something different. So you have this director.cpi.preferred API version. If this is not provided, then it takes the maximum API version, which is now 3.
Okay. And extend post. And this additional level has been introduced with here.
Exactly.
I mean, this content.
It is the actual feature, and this is a patch for it. So I guess probably no one ever tried to use it, so that's why nobody found out the bug. But now we try to use it productively. We saw it. So it comes into 2 faults. This is the director fault, and I think there is also still an AWS CPI PR, which complements it.
Okay, so do you think we need another review on this?
I think it's a small change.
What I was We can keep this one. Things.
Similar change here. The first thing was the cpi.json also needs to have scroll up a bit. So here we also make the debug also by default use API version 3 if nothing else is provided. So yeah, and the second change is create AMI for stem cell. We thought it's returning an object, but actually it's returning an ID. That's why we now have to actively look for the EC2 resource image with that ID. So that is now the only change.
Yeah, this surprised me. Wow, how this object is now ID. So this was another bug, so to say, in the CPI.
It's I mean, we did not change how this create AMI for stem cell works. We just we just figured out that it's returning an ID, not an actual object. Yeah, I guess the rest is test, right? Adapting the test.
Well, I thought we already updated the version of the CPI somewhere. Was it a different CPI? Or?
This is a debug CPI, so you can also specify what debug this cloud properties debug. And here we just change the default. So if you don't provide a parameter,
in debug.
Yeah,
okay, this
yeah,
is so that's why because I remember we already updated the version.
Yeah, we saw some gaps here and there. We just try to patch them. And also here, same thing. It was forgotten to change this max supported API version. This also we need. So it was 2. It should be 3. Otherwise, even if you provide that you won't use version 3, it will tell you you exceeded the maximum supported one, and then it will not work. So this was also, complementing what was there.
So it didn't provide any text. That's why this worked. When you provide text, then it is failing. I was thinking how we didn't find this issue here before.
I mean, because it was max supported version was 2. So nobody was actually able to run with version 3 yet. And so that piece of code was never executed before.
Yeah. Okay. And all you tried the tests and everything. You tried this manually, or what kind of test you executed?
So this is now creating a post director, which is using this CPI dev release, of course, and with everything integrated. So it's and we try to upload a stem cell and check that all the tags are there.
Okay.
So I guess before it was tested by CPI commands, not with an actual integration. That's why there was this gap with maximum version, for example.
We talked about this. I already looked into this one. There is no update in the waiting for changes. So one of
this I did not do something
on
yet.
your what is the situation here?
And this is waiting for review, I guess, right?
Ready for review.
Mm.
So there was some unit test issues. I helped Felix to find the issue and thinking.
I think he fixed the unit test at the end, yeah.
So this is now ready for reviewing.
Yeah.
Okay, already people are assigned and yeah. We have to wait for review. So we also wait for review. Decided last time to have another review in this.
Exactly, that also is waiting.
The same here, also for review. Maybe you can put some comments below ready for review if that is still state, because many comments and so maybe people are not thinking that this is still not in a review state, ready for review state.
Yeah, okay, I can write something. Resolve networks.
In this resolve networks and support mode by this prefix, this into this prefix. Okay, okay. I remember Felix, that's an open discussion with Sebastian on this one. So this is now resolved. Discussion, there is no approval. Do we have any context on this? The gallery support for Bosch Azure CPI.
I remember there was a bug in the compute gallery implementation that if you have multiple Bosch directors, exactly, and it would have some issues, but they are writing to the same so gallery, compute gallery, and I guess he's
Yeah.
handling it here, but I did not really look at the implementation details.
Yes, this is the context here, but there was an open discussion. It's resolved now. We don't know whether this is now from Felix's point of view ready for merge.
I think so. I mean, he approved it, right? Yeah.
It was approved also last time, but there was a discussion. Okay, I will check with Felix and then I'll have done. I can merge. And here's another one on costs. This is reducing the disks of our concourse workers. They have 1 terabyte disk size, and this is reducing to 500, which should be the PRs are done. We are ready with the PRs. There's one issue. I look shortly into that issue. Yeah. I think I will do offline look into this. What's the situation? Promotions. There are two promotions waiting for us, but I need to think Ruben and Boys. And the cost optimization. Yeah, we talked already. This was the disk reduction of the comfort circles and co-location of the database and compute instances. There are also other findings. I think we need to talk about those in a larger group.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay.
So the Linux Foundation is using also another tool to discover any possible optimizations in the usage of the resources, and they discovered a lot of buckets which are inactive or they are missing auto class in GCS bucket. We can save some money if we do this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we have to discuss about possible impact doing that, and so maybe some of them we can even delete. Depends on how old stem cell we want to keep. I thought there is an automation deleting cold stem cells, but maybe it's I have to check on that. Okay, do you have anything else?
I was asked this week. It was triggered by a customer request, but I also was wondering how we do it here. So in Ubuntu Jamie, we are using OpenSSL 3.0.2, which is quite old. And I see also in Noble is 3.0.13, which is also not so new. How are we normally handling the patches for these OpenSSL? Does it ever get patched, or do you have an idea? Because it's so deep in the stack, I wonder if we need to do something here.
I think it is coming from the Ubuntu distribution we consume.
Exactly. I mean, do we need to like to do an update then on a VM, or should we not do that, or do you know? Or is it? I wonder a bit.
An update that one if you want. I think we consume for the stem cell the long-term release version of the Ubuntu, and because they also deliver patches for that one. So
That mean
if you take in your hands the OpenSSL version, you have to take the updates also.
okay. So you mean it would then, if we take the long term, which we are with this 3.0, I think, does it mean is any important patch will then be automatically there in the JB, right?
So
Behind
we,
you. I hear you now. Sorry.
so we are getting all the patches from Ubuntu and applying to the stem cell, whatever they have.
Okay.
But if you want to manage that library by your own, I think no one can prevent you. You need to update.
Mhm.
But you can, I'm not 100% sure whether it's coming through the distribution, but you can check in the stem cell build repository.
Yeah, at least I
And,
checked in the push director and I saw what version it's being used, and I saw it was not changed than the one which is officially released by Ubuntu or Canonical, I mean.
yes, yeah.
So I guess there's no change happening in between.
No, we
But
don't take any, we take the Ubuntu distribution.
yeah, okay. And do you know anyone who would take care of this on their own? I mean,
I don't know.
okay.
No, I don't know someone who's adding a different version.
Mhm. Okay. Just for me, but so that I.
Why
Okay.
is it out of maintenance or that version?
No, I was asked by coming from NS2 basically why is it we have so old stuff. I know that it's coming for Noble, sorry, coming from the Ubuntu base image anyhow. I was just wondering, do we need to do something or not about it? But okay, we can take this offline maybe.
Yes, we can take it separately. Okay, then I think we are done. And have a nice evening, Ahmed.
Have a nice evening, Ben. See you. Bye bye.
Bye bye.